Have you ever felt like no one can hear you? You're shouting at the top of your lungs, and no matter what, no one turns a lick. And I don't mean in a way that you're trying to feel validated. I'm more so talking about how you want to do something to contribute. But all of the efforts that you're making feel like a drop in the bucket. Today I want to talk about the struggle of feeling insignificant when we're battling against something so much bigger than ourselves, and how with my song Color Revolution, it really captures what it is that we're going through, and in my effort to share and contribute the song with all of these people who are in positions of prominence and leadership, who are out there on the tip of the spear. I feel like a nothing trying to throw a pebble at a giant concrete wall. The most important thing, of course, is that we all walk out of this with our freedom. And I'm certainly not so arrogant to think other than that. But I don't understand how I'm supposed to connect. You can send a DM to people, you can send out a message, and nobody looks at it. So if you're anything like me and you're struggling to find your place in this fight, then I'm sure there'll be a couple of takeaways. Because who do we need to talk to about having permission to contribute? Because I'm here and I'm doing the work. But we're not going to be hopeless. We're going to be positive. We're going to find a positive way to get from here to there. And we'll talk about why starting from zero can feel like you're climbing Mount Everest without any gear. I need to get outside, get some fresh air, and rest my ears a minute. There's a lot that goes into feeling insignificant. A lot of self-comparison, frustration with yourself. Feeling insignificant is no joke. But you know, what happens when you decide to hell with the gatekeepers and you're going to contribute one way or another? I don't know exactly what it is that you're into and what you're building, but for me, there's nothing more important than our freedoms. And I think more importantly than the idea of keeping them, we have to reassert our rights and reassert our freedoms. When you grow up and you go through school and you learn about all of these people who contributed and who were out there on the front line, and then finally we find ourselves in a time where we're in a brand new fight. And while this fight's been going on forever, and we're only just becoming aware of it now, real fast, you want to participate, you want to be involved, you want to have a voice, you want to be heard. I mean, these people that are in control, attempting to leverage what they've acquired on the backs of the middle class worldwide in order to gain fascist sort of power over that middle class worldwide with digital IDs and carbon credits and whatever more bull they can dream up that predicates our enslavement. So while I'm measured enough to know that I'm not trying to feel self-important, because I know that I am common, my freedom and liberty and the freedom and liberty of the people whom I care about is the most important thing. So I feel a righteous indignation and I want to shout at power. We're right. You know, we have a very finite time between now and whatever danger that they create for us in the very near future. And all of us need to be in a position of Paul Revere. We all need to be sounding the alarm. We all need to be shouting to high heavens and let the enemy say we're fear-mongering. That's how exactly they intend to dissuade us from stopping our enslavement, by challenging us in our tendency for insecurity, how they have beaten us down into weaker versions of what we'd otherwise be. When I thought about how would I come out here and discuss this today, and rather than having metaphorical guns blazing, I thought I might lean into the whole feeling of insignificant thing as it would be relatable to everybody, and I thought maybe if I approach this like that, I won't come off so hardcore, but here we are. Yeah, I'm tired of being on the sidelines. I'm tired of hearing stupid AI-made music substituting itself for me and what I'm doing. It's my position to be in, and I have to find a way for myself in order to breach this threshold, in order to participate, in order to have all of this music that I've been writing meet its intention. And I get it. I get that there's this fine line about self-promotion and trying to validate myself on the back of a crisis. But when I scrutinize myself hard enough, I know that what's most important is not me being important, but it is that the songs are used to their intention, because they are rallying cry. We need to rally right now, because these idiots that have all the guns, clandestine giant deep state banking elite, the international crime syndicate. They will have us all dead or digital ID'd, and neither of which of those things resonate to me as valid options. I'm completely against either. I'm looking at my notes. My notes say, what's one battle in your life worth fighting, even if victory isn't assured? It's just utter rubbish, isn't it? Yeah, so it seems to me that there is only one battle right now for the immediate future. And while I'm still going to come out here and try to make these positive talks in order to be helpful, in order to help to build my own voice so that these songs can meet their purpose, I totally get how nonsensical it all is. Because the only thing is in the fight at hand, it is do or die. So maybe that's where my answer lies, Like maybe I'm not even taking the whole thing seriously enough. Because if I was, maybe I wouldn't be on this camera doing all this talking, but rather I would be just doing whatever it took towards building the channels that I need to meet my purpose. So I don't know. Let me know what you think below. Tell me what you think I'm missing. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what your thoughts are in terms of what we can do to get things done, because I feel a little bit like the crazy person that keeps banging his head on the wall and expecting a different result. Posting up what I make and posting up my songs, trying to reach out to the people who are more prominent in the movement, and I'm not exactly sure how that works. This fight that we're in, it's so big, whether you like it or not, whether you believe me or not, and they've lulled you into a sense of complacency and status quo, where if we all don't stand together and act against this, according to them, we won't even be here in 2030. So that means from here till there, they'll be reducing us, but we each have to do something. Even I have to do this, even I feel small and nothing. You have to do something, even you feel small and nothing. I have to tell you now, you have to tell your friend, we have to do something. There's no real time to doubt whether your actions are useful. Doing nothing, it just makes us do nothing. And while we're in a position of being insignificant now, us all acting together and taking the steps to push into this unknown is not insignificant. So what happens when we decide that we're going to make our voice heard? We're not going to second guess ourselves and try to talk ourselves out of it because someone might think we're trying to be self-important. Because if you're dead, you're dead. You're done. And whilst you're still alive, there's not too much more important than not being dead. And getting into the fight helps build our resilience and amplifies the defiance. But for now, we need to find out how we can contribute with our own skills and in our own way. And that includes me. And I can't walk around here like a big idiot, frustrated. I just have to figure it out. Because no matter what, the struggle that we're in right now is going to shape all of us. So long as they've decided to hijack our precious time with this death call nonsense, then why shouldn't we all be able to have our say? Because as long as I have breath, they're going to hear my 2 cents, because this is my right. This is nothing that they've granted me. This is a group of people that's trying to impose themselves upon me, upon you, and everything that they do, merging their government and corporate governance, is designed with the express purpose of making us feel insignificant and helpless. And when you think of it that way, then don't you just get self-important real quick? And I get it, making a song is sort of the luxury end of the spectrum. There's people that's down to the brass tacks, hard work of organizing and understanding how they've weaponized government against us and what it is that we can do to stop it, and those whom are being activists and making a difference, whether it's Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and all of the other people out there in the trenches of it. If you don't know, I'd like to make you aware of James Roguski.
Hey everyone, this is James Roguski, and yesterday, me and a dozen other people got a chance to speak truth to power at a listening session held by the Department of Health and Human Services, the Office of Global Affairs.
He's an independent researcher. He's particularly vocal about the WHO and the United Nations. He warns of potential threats to national sovereignty and personal freedoms. Roguski uses platforms like Substack, share his findings, and he urges individuals to take action against what he perceives as moves toward a centralized authoritarian control. His work has resonated with those skeptical of international influence, making him a notable figure in discourse on global governance and health autonomy. So why is that important? It's important because he's doing something. And what he's doing, it was one of the inspirations for my Color Revolution song. And I had thought early on that after I finished it, I would go ahead and send him a copy of it in the event that there was some way he might be able to use it as an asset in some of the content that he was putting out, something like that. But nonetheless, his work and his action and activism, it helped to inspire portions of that. So part of this is taking some initiative in that you don't sit around and just only feel insignificant, because that kind of thing is just something that's only in our head. And as I say with so many of these issues, they really become irrelevant because it's either going to sit and wallow in that or you're just going to get back at trying to do something. And that's where I'm at. Hopefully that's where you're at. And yeah, while this applies to, stopping them from taking over the world, it applies to every other area of your life. We otherwise had smooth sailing and, whatever it would be that you'd be working on through that. So the two things I want to do to effort my voice in this is to start to make some shorts for this, which I've been putting off, and reach out to James and let him know that I did write the song and see where it is. All right, we all have to do what it takes. There's challenges in front of all of us. We can't allow the challenges to undermine us, and we can't relegate our own selves to insignificance. And at times like these, we have to find some action to take and take it. Help out wherever you can. This is our life and this is our time, and we're not going to be killed off in mass by some self-entitled elitists that think they have all of the answers. And because they're so disgusting and devoid of self-awareness that they actually attempting to see this through. So this is my part. This is the small action that I can take. And, if it falls on deaf ears, then I can tell you that I'm just going to wake up again tomorrow and try another door and another after that. So keep your head up, and I'm going to keep my head up. And if you haven't heard Color Revolution clearly for yourself, you can listen to it here. We'll talk again soon.